So today, I am so excited because my very special guests are here with me, and I can go way back, but the Wheeland Brothers on the line with Renee Adams. Boys, how you doing?
What's up? Bueno.
There they are. We got Travis, we got Nate. I'm excited. There's so much to talk about, so I want to get started. First things first, I know we're going to talk about your new music. We're going to talk about everything, but let me just give you the highlight, or give the listener the highlight. I met the Wheeland Brothers at closing time at a bar in Nashville. True or false?
That is very true. And
yeah.
Can I elaborate on that?
Yeah, please do.
You meet a lot of people late at night after a show, and usually they're full of crap. And so you gave me your phone number, and you were like, "Oh, I'm this radio person. We should do something together." And I put it in my phone and totally forgot about it, because in my mind I was like, okay, this person probably has about 5 listeners on some sort of bogus internet radio that doesn't matter to me. So it wasn't until it was probably years later, right, that we actually or at least a year later that we actually.
It wasn't a year. I think I met you, Kenny Chesney, No Shoes Radio. You were doing the pre-party for them, right? Before he performed. Yeah, 2023, 22? I don't know. It was a while ago. And then I called you because you were performing at Meeting of the Minds that year. And you probably were like, "Oh, who's this?" Because you put it on. And I was at Radio Margaritaville. That was no schmuck channel, okay? So
yeah, I learned that. I learned the error of my ways.
Yeah, okay. And then I remember sitting in the parking lot at the studio one day talking to you for almost an hour about get merch together. Get merch together, because when you perform at Meeting of the Minds, you might want to sell something. Do you remember that one?
I do. And then I also remember that when we played Meeting of the Minds, we probably had a merch line for about 3 or 4 hours.
Yes, and I was over there helping you.
Yeah. You were kind of like our stand-in merch girl on that one.
Yeah, you're not the only person I've done that for, but maybe probably the first. Also, here, let's flip this over to another piece that I remember about us, and that is Travis is getting ready to have baby Callie. Well, not personally himself, his wife, getting ready to have the baby, and I put out this big social media post to all my listeners telling me I need ideas what to get the baby. And this was a huge thing in my life on what to get Travis Wheeland's baby when it's born. And it ended up being a sheet for the crib that looked like she was laying on sand, right?
Yeah, we used that. She was a true beach babe.
That's funny. All right. So I also have a big memory about the Wheeland family, that every Thanksgiving you guys do this amazing family video, and I am so fortunate to be on the list to get that video of the Thanksgiving song that you do.
Yeah. It used to be, back in the day, it used to be crank calling people on Thanksgiving, and then now we've grown with the technology to send videos.
Well, probably because your mom and dad are in it. Your mom and dad. Here's my other story of the Wheeland. These are all the crazy moments. I'm at Music on the Bay. A nice couple come up to me. The Wheeland Brothers says that we should meet you and get a flip-flop necklace. I'm like, oh, great. I give them the necklace. Thank you for scanning and joining my flip-flop friends. And then they're standing there, and I go, oh, I guess we should get a picture. I'll send it to them. I take a picture of us, send it to them, and it's only, 2 months later, I realize that was your mom and dad. Did you know that? I swear to God, I never put it together. They came forward and said, well, we're the parents. They never said it. I had to leave the next day, and I did not even realize. And I have this picture on my phone. I'm like, I'm standing with the Wheeland's parents, same people on the video that I get at Thanksgiving, and I didn't even know that it was them to say, oh, my gosh, good to meet you. What an idiot, right?
Oh, that's great.
That is hilarious. Okay. All right. So this is how all these moments that we have in our life, and my biggest one ever is that when you all performed October 11th, 2023 in St. Augustine. And I know this because this is the very first time I asked my boyfriend, Bob, to be my +1 at a concert that I was going to introduce you guys at. And that was our first date. And now we've been together 2 years. We bought a house together. We're like so in love. And we talk about the Wheelings. And if it wasn't for you guys in that concert, we probably wouldn't have gotten together. So thank you. Thank you. You've changed my life when you didn't even know.
I expect an invitation to the wedding someday.
Don't. You want me to get married? I always say no, I don't need to get married. No, I don't do that.
No, I used to say I would never get married, and I got married a year ago. So
you did, and you had a very good choice, and she's perfect, and I loved your story on Valentine's Day. I have to thank you both again on my Valentine's show. 1 year it was Travis and Janet. They told their love story of how they met, and last year it was you and Caitlin. So you've both been on my Valentine's show. Thank you. So big fans of the Don't Worry Be Chappy show, the Wheeland Brothers. You've heard it here. So let's talk now real stuff. Real quick, you guys, for me, are going to be showing up at the Trop Olympics in Gulf Shores, Alabama. It is Friday at noon when we start, and that's when I want you guys to pop in real quick. You couldn't get your own teams this year, and that is because you're performing at night and you have a sound check. I get it, but you are so gracious. You said you would stop in and say hi to all of the contestants and all of my celebrities. And
yeah, cheerleaders, basically. We're just going to cheer everybody on.
Yeah.
You know, watch sweat it out.
For those people that couldn't actually or can't, see you right away, up close and personal right there, stopping into the Trop Olympics. Thank you for that. And your show that night at the Hangout. So moving into now, let's talk to you. Now that we've gotten all that out of it, I want to thank you for all of those things. You guys have been working hard. You've been traveling. You've been touring. Where have you been this last summer? Where have you been all summer long?
Well, we did a tour on the East Coast. A few.
Yeah, a few. We're people are starting to ask us, when are you going to just realize you need to move to the East Coast?
Yeah.
That would take it away, though.
We did, I guess, like 2 tours of the East Coast, huh? And then we did the West Coast. And, you get to the point where we literally every night we have to write out where we are, what state we're in, and what night of the week it is, because we have no idea where or when we are.
But you're killing it. You're like, I'm watching the social media posts. You're like my sons almost. It's kind of watching you go from these little babies to grow into this great big rock stars. Even for this interview, I didn't even text you straight on. I went through your manager.
Wow.
I know. Yeah. You're famous now, so I wanted to do it the right way. But I'm super happy for you. You're traveling, you're touring. What do you got? Okay, so you have Meeting the Minds coming up. Where else do you have coming? I know you're coming to House of Blues in Orlando with Nico, and I will see you there.
Yeah, really excited about that.
We have 15 shows. They start on October 24th. We're going to be in Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville, playing at Sugar Shack in Bonita Springs, Fort Lauderdale. We're going down to Key West.
Yeah, the Key West Theater.
And we're doing the cruise out of Miami.
Yes, I heard about that. John Patty was on with me and telling me how excited he was that he's getting ready to do this cruise.
John's going to be with us playing the pans and some percussion. And also you mentioned, we talked earlier about my wife, Caitlin. She's going to be coming out on the road with us, too, and singing. So we'll have everybody.
That's going to be great.
Shows with Nico Moon, 311, Soja, Alan Stone, Sarah Nation. There's a lot of different great groups that we're going to be honored to play with.
Yeah,
next year we're going to be at the Reggae Rise Up Festival in Florida too, so that'll be awesome.
That will be. I remember you telling me back in the day, Nate, you were like, we started out as reggae artists, and now we've kind of moved into this direction of trop rock, but you're still a little of both, I think, right?
I don't think we've ever tried to be anything. We just kind of have accidentally.
You might have been one of the first people who I ever heard use the term trop rock. I never even knew till we were deep in this.
A lot of people say that, though. It's tough to. Let's be honest. I didn't know there was a genre called trop rock, but as it's growing, and as people are getting out there and about, I noticed that a lot of newscasters, or you'll see different artists of this, our group here, on different shows around the country, and they'll say, what is trop rock? And then people will go, it's that easy feeling, go back to it's Jimmy Buffett music, but you're really not. You guys have a whole nother vibe going on, especially with the younger crowd. You've been doing Tortuga for the last couple of years, and that must be a rush, right?
Oh, yeah. A rush is...
a rush
exactly
for
right.
so many reasons. But, that Tortuga's If you're listening and you've never been to Tortuga and you love the beach, you really got to go.
Yeah, I've watched the videos. I'm like crazy. Wow.
So hit us up, Renee. Maybe we can get you a +1 again.
Oh yeah, get me in there. Okay, well that's not until like April, I think. Are you doing Tortuga again this year? You think?
We can neither confirm nor deny.
I gotcha. Okay. All right. Now, let me talk about this cruise real quick. This was great that you guys are doing this big cruise. Are there tickets still available for that? Because I haven't really paid attention. I think it's like November. Yeah. And where do people find that information on you guys, and your schedules, your tours, and where you're going to be, and where's the best place to find all that kind of information for you guys?
The best place is probably going to WheelandBrothers.com and just looking at tour page. And yeah, that cruise is going to be fun. We're actually doing. Are we doing the poetry thing?
Yeah, we're going to do the expression.
We do this like thing with our friends where we get together and we read like song lyrics or poems, or it's like a show and tell of words kind of, and it's based on the Dead Poets Society. So we're going to do a poetry hangout, show and tell on the cruise.
That's going to be great. I mean, you all bring so much. I mean, there's a lot of trop rock, and I'll say it, trop rock artists out there, but yours is just a little different. And I don't mean to sound like this, but like when my son, who's 21, has a girlfriend and she's 20, and her father says, "Oh, I listen to, a little bit of trop rock. I really love the Wheeland Brothers." I looked at this man and I'm like, "You know the Wheeland Brothers?" And it was just, I don't know why it shocks me so much, but this is a middle school teacher. and he's, like a little nerdy. He's got little round glasses, and he is a huge fan of yours, which I was like, you just affect everybody. I met this country artist the other day, and he was saying the same thing. "Oh, I'm a huge fan of the Wheelands." I'm like, okay, not that they shouldn't be, just that you attract so many different types of people. And I keep noticing that, which is great for you. So keep doing what you're doing. Now let's talk, and I know this is why we're supposed to be doing this interview. Let's talk about the new music. I get little bits and pieces and snippets, and I'm super excited. Talk. Tell me about the new music.
Well, we're putting out a tribute song to Jimmy Buffett. Comes out on October 17th, pretty soon.
This Friday is coming out, yeah.
And we did his song Havana Daydreamin, and I feel like this song years ago, it was like in 2009, I took a trip down to Costa Rica just by myself, and it was the first time I ever had left the United States, and I just traveled alone for a month, hitchhiking and staying at this little like surf camp that I had convinced to let me stay for free. And
they thought you were going to do work, right?
Yeah, they thought it turned out that nobody wanted to work, and so we just surfed and traveled around. And at the time, I was kind of falling in love with travel and realizing that the horizon is a lot broader than I thought. And I was discovering Jimmy Buffett at the same time, and I brought Nate's guitar with its really rusted strings. Oh, yeah. And I just remember playing Jimmy Buffett songs to people on the street, and kind of how transformative that trip was for me. In some ways, all of our music, or all of the parts of our music that I've contributed to since then, were inspired by the kind of wanderlust that I learned on that trip. And Jimmy Buffett was the soundtrack. So I feel like I really owe it to him to kind of pay tribute to how much he got me out the front door and got me on a plane to all kinds of places since then.
That's great. And
Jimmy Buffett, storyteller, and he's got so many songs like Havana Daydreamin that are about like the adventure of life and sort of that main character energy that you can have, where you have eyes to see the exciting story that's right in front of you. And I know you've said this before, Trav, that like Jimmy, he makes you believe that there's a song about you and your life, and it inspires you.
And something I've learned is that when I travel, I like to write songs and journal as a way to kind of elevate the moment into something meaningful. And when you start to do that, you start to realize that if you kind of lead with the story, like you start to write your own story and you start to think like you're in your story. Something about that elevates you out of the mundane, or can elevate the mundane into something meaningful. And that's something that I learned from listening to Jimmy Buffett's music was that he did that for himself, but he also did that for other people, writing songs that hopefully showed them that the life they were living was was like an adventure novel.
Yeah, and that is where the Parrot Heads come in, because that's what we all we get together and we spend time, and nobody's in a bad mood, and it's that beachism and that great feel of the vacation feel, right? The vacation feel. But, in your generation, you guys are kind of an old soul, both of you. I would say you're both old soul. Yeah, you're young, and I know when I first met you, you're like, we're not as young as you think we are. But you're younger than me. I remember Nate was saying, I found my first gray hair in my nose. I was like, oh, okay, all right. So, yeah, but still bringing your generation into your type of music and just all Parrot Heads, as we get older, we have to have that younger generation come in. And I feel like you guys are doing it. So you're definitely
the
a
Parrots
big part.
are, you talk about old souls, there's a lot of young souls.
Yes,
in that
yes.
camp.
Yes, you're absolutely right. So this new song, Havana Daydreamin', we're going to play it here after we're finished up. I'm super excited. I've heard it. It's amazing. You guys, great job. Also, you have other songs, and I've heard a few clips of the other songs, and I'm not going to tell you how I've heard them, but I have. And I love some of these things. You have some of these like reggae mixes, and you drop a little bit of Belafonte in one. And when is the album coming out? When? Do you know?
Some of those songs, the only way to hear them is to come to the live show, because we have a new album that's coming out next year.
Okay.
Playing some of those songs live. But before we do that, we're going to be putting out this fall a bunch of reggae versions and acoustic versions of some songs from the last album. Because Nate and I, when we jam around the bonfire, we play, or I'll rewind, like when you listen to a song on the radio, you're only hearing like one version of the song. You're not hearing the infinitude of ways that the song can go. And when we sit down around the bonfire and we jam, like the songs are always different. We change it up. Any song can be a reggae song, and any song can be an acoustic broken down song or whatever. So we kind of wanted to create some alternate universe versions of some of those songs and show people the other sides that we've heard on our various fire jam.
Yeah,
and so it's all, we're gonna
it's laying out the red carpet for the new music that's going to be coming out next year, because we're going to have some new songs coming out too, and actually an album. So stay tuned.
So some of the stuff though that I'm hearing, and I'm that person that will watch your videos on Instagram or Facebook. I'm like, what are they singing in the back there? Like, what is that? That's something new? Is that something new? I'm that person. I'll rewind. I'll listen again. I'm like, oh, I want that song. So again, coming to see you live is probably one of those ways, one of the best ways at this moment to hear some of the new stuff. Most of my listeners will be at Meeting of the Minds. And super excited. Will we get to hear anything when we're there a little bit?
Yeah.
Something? Okay, good. And your show is Friday night. I will be there, right there with you. I've got a team of people that are going to be standing there, and we're super excited. You always do such a great job. Everybody loves watching the Wheeland Brothers perform. And I'm not just saying that. You guys are amazing. Before we wrap up and play this new song, I want to know, because I may have asked you this before, but I don't have record of it. I want you to play my big three. It's just 3 questions. One of you answers, then the other one answers. There's no wrong answers, and it's super easy. Like the first question is, tell me something different that we don't know about each of you. So who wants to go first, Nate or Travis? Something different, anything. Maybe you were a band geek in high school or something. I don't know. Tell me something we don't know about you.
That people might not know about me is that I was a proud hamster dad to 2 hamsters, Thief and Foof. Now, I will say they sadly both passed away very recently, but Thief and Foof they brought a lot of joy, and I wrote a lot of songs singing to those hamsters. So.
Yeah, what was the hamster love song?
Yeah, I do. love song I wrote to them. But yeah, they're really sweet. Caitlin loves.
I know. I looked at I sent my condolences on social media when I saw the passing of the hamsters. I did. I don't know if you saw it, but I felt sad for you. Yeah, and Caitlin. It's a bad day, I'm sure, at the Wheeland house. Okay, Travis, tell us something we don't know about you.
Maybe Hamster Love will be on the next album. Yeah.
Yeah, like Muskrat Love back in the day, Captain and Tennille. You guys are way too young to even know what that is. But okay.
Something people might not know about me is that in high school I carried my bags in a in a Ninja Turtle. My books in a Ninja Turtle pillowcase tied to a stick.
You did?
Hobo style is what we call it. That's doing it hobo style.
I also sometimes use a guitar case as my backpack. I did all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That is okay. That was funny and good. All right. Let's move on to the next question. Both of you, what's the most used app on your phone? Nate?
I would say probably YouTube, just because I go on there a lot and I listen to meditation videos and I'll do like yoga videos off my phone.
Awesome. And Travis?
Mine is probably I use this list app called Clear, and I use it every 5 minutes, and it's where I offload things out of my brain and store them in lists that will never be read.
So it's an app called Clear, and I get more information from this question. It's an app called Clear, and it's almost like a piece of paper that you can just write, like talk into it and put all your thoughts down. Is that what it says?
It's kind of, well, it's not like notes. It's just like lists of things.
Mm-hmm.
So I put interview with Renee.
Got it. Okay. Well, I'm a list person too, so and being the fact that we are super close in personality, Travis, we share that birthday. Remember, we're one day apart. Yeah. You're Aries Taurus. You're the first day of Taurus. I'm the last day of Aries.
We're basically we're very similar. You and I. We're basically the same.
Super creative. Yeah. Little same. We have different hair. Okay. And my last question, both of you, in your opinion, who's the most famous person's phone number in your phone?
Well, I kind of have two answers for that. In that, Mishka, I think, would probably be the one that you're gonna say, Trav, right? Like Mishka.
Mishka is the person in my phone who I admire the most as a famous person.
But I think probably
amazing.
The most famous person I think I have is Christian Bush from Sugarland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
At a songwriter pool not too long ago. Where were we at?
We were in Washington last year.
We had a great conversation with him on the water. And
it was cool.
And
so that particular festival, that one, Peace, Love, and Union, the very first time he did it, I was asked to go on tour with them and open for him and introduce him in several different places before we even got to that. Then we stayed there together that week, and his brother Brandon was just on my show a couple of weeks ago. I just saw them a couple of weeks ago, and that's why he was on my show. We reminisced just sitting under the stars and talking. He has great stories, doesn't he, Christian? And Brandon.
Yeah. And I actually have 2 cans of Bush beans in my cupboard, and he's actually part of the Bush family. So every time I eat, I think about him.
And did they tell you the story how they got no money from it? It's great. They're just really down to earth, very cool people.
Now I'm sad when I eat my beans.
Yeah, I get it. All right, Travis, who's the most famous person's number? Was it Mishka?
Oh, well, Nate and I have the same numbers, so I mean he just gave my answer, but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Mishka's on there. He's I'm a big fan of Mishka. I first learned about Mishka's music when before Nate and I had ever released an album, a fan came to our show playing at some little taco stand, and they gave me a burned CD of Mishka's music that they had stolen mine.
Oh, nice.
And I was amazed, though. Like his voice is incredible.
Yeah.
And
he should be the most famous person, though.
Like honestly, he should be. He's
very laid back. He's not like It's kind of like the lyric that Jimmy has about like he's wearing his flip flops and not like rhinestones. Mishka's that guy. It's just like if it happens, it happens. Okay, If I'm famous, okay.
We're putting out this Havana Daydreamin tribute song to Jimmy. So we were researching other songs that artists have put out as tribute to Jimmy. And Mishka's, what is the hurricane?
Try to Reason with Hurricane Season.
Oh my gosh, that
Right.
song, his version is incredible.
It is. It is very incredible. I love it myself. And one day, I don't know what I was doing, and I'm listening to Radio Trop Rock, and I go, who's singing that? I don't even know why and I know I've heard it many times, but I looked at my phone, I'm like, of course, it's Mishka's version. Yeah. Every once in a while, when you hear me stop and go, I like this. I like either the lyrics or the vibe or the beat. If I do that, you know I like your music, and I do that all. But you guys, we play you all the time. Okay, well, I want to play the song. I'm going to wrap it up for you. Who wants to introduce it? You both can introduce it.
This is Havana Daydreamin,
Mm-hmm.
Wheeland style.
Goes out to Jimmy, the man who taught us all how to daydream.
That's right. Havana Daydreamin on Radio Trop Rock. Well, thank you boys so much for being on my show, and I will see you soon in Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Renee. Peace.
Yeah.